Oh. Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to a little something different. So, I mean, as you can see, I'm in a different location. I'm not at the normal set. I'm over at Jess's house right now. So this is Jess's set. We dressed it up, make it look nice. I think it looks pretty nice. So we'll probably be filming more stuff here in the near future. So I wanted to do a video on the top 10 with an asterisk pros of the Vital Brace. This is essentially going to be part one of a two-part series. Part one is obviously this one, which we're watching right now, which is the pros, and the next part is going to be the cons. Probably going to be a bit more than 10, honestly, but I figured we do pros, we do cons, just so people can see, you know, what are some of the good things and some of the bad things when it comes to the Vital Brace, the newest Digimon vpet. So recently I asked you on the community tab, I asked all of you guys some questions. I set some examples of what you guys liked about the Vital Brace, what you guys disliked about the Vital Brace. YouTube's only allowed to give you so many options when it comes to polls, sadly, so I couldn't put every single thing that I think is a pro or a con. This wouldn't have been done without you guys. I really mean that in the truest sense. I dropped my phone. Alright, so let's get to number 10, one of the lower end that I believe is a pro on this device. So out of 296 votes, thank you all for voting, this one literally got 1% of the vote. I don't even know how small that would be, maybe like 5 votes probably. And that's the app. So the app is the newest thing about the Vital Brace. It's something that we've wanted for a while. Now, Tamagotchi devices have had apps for quite a few generations now. And Digimon never really got that kind of treatment. They didn't get really the upgraded treatment that Tamagotchi has been getting for the past couple years to almost a decade now. And the app is something really cool. So a lot of people aren't using it right now, which I think is why it got such a low score. But in my own opinion, I do think the app is really cool. I have not been using it yet. 2 reasons. 1, I don't have a phone that has NFC compatibility, and 2, I personally don't want to start using the Japanese app because I think your watch gets locked to the app, like location-wise. Like if we start using the Japanese version and the American version comes out, or an English version in general, one that's in English, I don't think you'll be able to transfer your Digimon that's in the Japanese app into that. I don't think you can use this watch with that app. That hasn't been confirmed or denied yet because there's no real way to confirm or deny that. There should be an English version of the app coming soon, we know that for sure, but as far as what and when, we don't know. So other than, like I said before, kind of transferring your Digimon into the app to be able to free up space on the watch, but also just kind of have Digimon at different stages so that you can progress by yourself. Soon, it got delayed again. I think it's coming out maybe next month, again, as we're recording this. There is going to be online battles. There's also going to be online raid battles, which is really cool. So the Digimon that you're raising on the watch, you can put into the app, fight other people all around the world, which is something that fans have wanted forever, to the point where we just said screw it and made our own. If you haven't heard of the Digimon Online, project, I highly suggest watching my playlist on the Digimon Online project. It should be in the card. Could it be better? Of course, but I think it also is, again, really good for what it does currently. You can also get exclusive items from the app that apply to the Digimon once you put it back into the device. So it adds stuff like items which aren't in this device natively, it's in the app that transfers it over to the device, which is very interesting. One thing that I do hope they do on the app is just like maybe just like one extra thing, like maybe some kind of adventure mode that you can put the Digimon that are in the app onto that adventure. Maybe something that happens idly, where you can like select 3 or 5 Digimon that you have stored in the app and they can just go on this adventure and come back with like items and stuff. I think that'd be pretty cool. But overall, again, the app is something that I think is nice, but a lot of people, well, a lot of you guys didn't really seem to like it that much. Let's go with the second most voted one, was the new design. 5% of you voted on this, which is a very small percent of 200, and a lot of people, from what I have seen, aren't huge fans of the look of the device or just the fact that it's a watch in general. Personally, and it's funny, I'm talking about pros, and we're talking about least favorite of the pros, but still these are pros nonetheless. The thing that I really like about the design, the watch design, is one, you know, it's always on your wrist. You know, I did like the keychain look. You know, I was rocking the keychain for quite some time, you guys already know, and I like it, I do like it. But the way that it just looks, one, just the bands, and how they kind of dolled them up to look just a bit more than just your average watch band. And the device itself, I mean, the DM logo on mine sadly is gone, and that is definitely going to be touched up on the next part of this video, but it is very sleek looking. It's very modern, and I do like that. I think that's maybe is why people aren't huge fans of this, that it does look very kind of minimalistic, and minimalism has its place in the world, but I know some people would rather have like a really cool, funky, chunky looking design. Again, I do enjoy the look and design of the watch. I think they did a very good job designing it. I think it looks really nice. I do quite like it. It is a bit thick.
Boy!
Now that is something that is not so great, but again, the look of the device in and of itself, I really enjoy. I do like it. I think just making it into a watch not only works with the entire fitness theme that this device has going for it, it also just kind of looks sleek. Honestly, if I got the black version of this, even with the DM logo, it just kind of looks like a funky little Fitbit. But surprisingly, so far, no one's really asked me what this is. They just think it's a smartwatch / Fitbit. No one said like, oh, is that a Digimon thing? Is that a toy? Like, no one can notice. So I do think that is pretty nice. Now, some of you, that could be a con. But again, to me, I find that a pro. I like that. I quite like that. Here's something else that I like about the Vital Brace, and it is the fact that it's a rechargeable battery. The battery life isn't amazing, I will say that. But the fact that it is a rechargeable battery is nice. I think even the Tamagotchi don't have rechargeable batteries yet. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. It's just a nice thing to have. It's a give and take for some people. Some people would rather prefer putting batteries in something, and then if they run out, they just buy new ones. And some people prefer to plug something in for it to recharge. It's up to you. It's all about personal preference. Some people don't like recharging things at all and would rather have everything be on batteries. Some people do like rechargeable batteries, but they last a bit longer. Now, this is a small watch, so the battery was not going to be amazing, especially given the fact that this is essentially an always-on device. So there's a give and take there, but I am happy that it does have a rechargeable battery. The accelerometer and the heart rate sensor. Now, some of these pros are also cons, which is, again, we're going to get to that next week's episode, but I will say this is still a pro in my book. This device can be a double-edged sword, but I will say this is again about things I like about the device, and here's a pro. The heart rate and accelerometer are a fun thing that they did work into the device itself. So the device reads your heart rate different times of the day. It can tell when your heart rate is elevated or lowered, and that works into Vital Point. It's a way for you to feed your Digimon, essentially. You walking gives you steps. Steps help you get vital value. Your heart rate also helps you get vital value as well. The step counter on this device is a bit sensitive compared to other watches, and I don't think that is a fluke on Bandai's part. I do think they made it a bit more sensitive on purpose, and I actually kind of appreciate that it's more sensitive, because the way things are right now, a lot of people can't really go outside. You can still get the full experience of the Vital Brace without having to like really go on a long walk outside every single day. Just walking around your house or just having it on will get you steps, and will get you vital values. So I do think it's something that they did on purpose, personally. So yeah, it is a step counter. It does also do heart rate. And I think that's really nice because they also weave that in together with the way that the device's theming works, which is like fitness and working out and vitality and all that good stuff. It works for me. It doesn't work for some people, which is a damn shame. It could be better hardware, but it is something that I'm going to chalk up to a pro. It is something interesting. It's something different. I think if you're looking, I will be honest with you, I think if you're looking for a fitness device, really good, and like you're really, really serious about getting into fitness, I don't think this device is going to be good enough for that. It's just a cute little toy, and it's a little gimmick that adds to the toy. it's not really a fitness tracker, not really a Fitbit. It is just, that's just kind of the gimmick with this device. So yeah, I like the gimmick. NFC. This device has near field communication, also known as NFC. So there's a lot more things nowadays that have NFC than before. Now, for some people it might be harder to find NFC touch points. I do plan on doing a video of me walking around and finding NFC touch points. A couple that I have showed off before, one being a Nintendo Switch. If you own a Switch, you can use that to grind battles on here with the NFC. If you have a phone that's compatible with NFC, you can use your phone as well. That also is how the app works. And it's a cool thing. Sadly, you can't touch two watches together to have them fight. I don't know why that's a thing, or not a thing really. There is physical battling that you can do with a friend. It's just with the DIM card, which is again a little weird, but the NFC battling, it's fun. So if you find an NFC point, you tap the watch to the NFC point, it battles, and you can win vital values from those battles. And battles also count towards evolution, which is a classic Digimon thing. But it's just the fun of trying to find NFC touch points in real life. It adds a bit to the fun of the device. You really feel like you're going out on this adventure. And also, you kind of feel like you're in your own kind of Digimon story. It's really fun. You could kind of play with that. It really helps with the imagination because, you know, if you're playing through Rear Eyes, there's things called like digital points and stuff like that. Or even if you're playing like Cyber Sleuth. Either way, or just the normal anime, you know, you can think like, oh, you know, you can tap this to things or even if you play like Battle Network, you know, it's the same idea where like I can tap this to different things and find like evil Digimon that are in there and you gotta defeat them or they defeat you. It's a fun thing. It's really cute. I really like it. It's a really fun aspect of the device that they added NFC. It makes it feel more modern. It makes it feel a lot more fun to look for touch points, like I said before. Even when grinding through battles, it just feels fun just to tap it and watch that screen light up with the warning logo. It just looks cool. It looks really, really cool. Something else I really, really enjoy about the Vital Brace are the backgrounds. I talked so much smack about the default backgrounds on this device, and even I'm totally gonna eat my words on this one. They're really nice looking, honestly. I completely forgot that there were other backgrounds until a little bit later, because the default blue background honestly looks really, really nice. The green one is my favorite, and the orange one is my least favorite, honestly, but it still looks nice. They really, really look good. And another thing that I really like about the Vital Brace is when you put a DIM card in, the fourth wallpaper or background changes depending on that DIM. So the Ancient Warriors background was like kind of reminded me of like the places where like the Z Warriors would fight and like Dragon Ball Z. It looks like one of those like mountain ranges kind of looking areas. Or even some of the backgrounds in the original vpets. It looked like some of those backgrounds like in the OG Digimon and the Pendulum. It was really nice. I like it. And the Black Roar background looks like some kind of weird like training area. The walls are green. The floor has like cracks coming through it. It's a really interesting background and I really like it. And like I said before, each DIM card has its own background. Now some share backgrounds, like I believe the Gabumon and Agumon DIM share a background, and the Black Roar and Shadow Howl DIM also share a background. And if I had to guess, I would imagine the Tamers DIM that are coming out soon, the Digimon Tamers DIMs, they're probably going to have the same background as well. But still, that is a different background, depending on who you're running on this device. And I think that's really, really cool. And like I said, even the default backgrounds look really nice. I find myself switching between all three of them, or all four of them, quite often. Sometimes I'm running the blue one, sometimes I have the green one, sometimes I have the special version, because those are exclusive to the DIM. And it also, like I said before, it kind of adds to the play of it, the role play. It looks like, you know, the old original backgrounds for the vpets were done for a reason. They're supposed to look like you're looking through a window into the digital world. And with the color screen, it really helps sell that feeling that you're looking into a window into the digital world. It looks really nice, and I am glad that they did this the way they did. It is such a cool look, and it really gives the device its own aesthetic, because you can have those plain backgrounds if you just want it to look more like a plain device, and you can also give it those you can give it those themed backgrounds to give it that classic Digimon vpet flair. Again, something that I really appreciate on this device, and I really wish we got the ability to kind of store backgrounds that you get from the DIMMs. Instead, they just changed the 4th background. This one got 34% of the vote, and I'm kind of surprised because this is actually my favorite part, personally, of this device, and that is the DIMM cards. The DIMM cards are something that I think was such a smart decision on Bandai's part, because not only is it something that is kind of what we've been asking for, but it's in a different way. And let me just explain myself here. Digimon devices, traditionally, you get a device that has a set roster, and unless you hack it or do something crazy with it, you're stuck with that roster. That's something that's fine for back in the day, but nowadays, it'd be nice if we could keep having more rosters, or just a giant roster of a bunch of Digimon. And the DIMM cards do essentially both of those. So a normal DIMM card has about 16 different Digimon that are raisable on it, and they all have some kind of theme. And of course, since they are also kind of, you just slot them in, kind of makes the Vital Brace feel more like a console than just a normal device, Digimon device, or even a vpet, because you can continue to add to the roster and continue to choose who you want to play with, who you want to raise, whenever you want to, as long as you, of course, buy the DIMM. And as long as Bandai supports the DIMM cards and the Vital Brace, we can continue to get more Digimon on this device. So in theory, this device could have the biggest roster ever compared to any other vpet ever. Even those bootleg ones that say they have 300 different things on it, this could have more than those. And even now, we've been seeing a lot of DIMM cards that have been released for the Vital Brace. We have the set 1, we have the EX set, which was Gabumon and Agumon. We have set 2 already announced, which is Infinite Tide and Titan of Dust. We already have a set 3 that's been announced. We have the Gashapon DIMM, we have the Metabot DIMM, we have... I feel like I'm missing one more, but that's already a lot of DIMM cards that are available, that add to the roster, add more Digimon, give you a cool background. I think that is a really cool addition to the Vital Brace to Digimon. It's one of my favorite things personally, because if you have a fan favorite, most likely it will get a DIMM eventually. We've already gotten DIMMs for most of the tamer Digimon. We have DIMMs for Agumon and Gabumon. I'm fairly certain we'll get DIMMs for the rest of the Adventure Cast. In closing, the DIMM cards, in my opinion, are definitely one of the biggest pros of this device. So many options, so many avenues. And the biggest, the number 1 pick for you guys was, of course, the screen. The screen is gorgeous. It is a beautiful backlit color screen. Something that we have been asking for literal decades now. Ever since Tamagotchi got it, we were all wondering, when are we going to get it? Why don't we have it? What is Bandai doing? What's up with that? So, they finally did it. They gave us the color screen. So the color screen is really nice. Some of the sprites aren't that good. All-Force Vidramon is gray instead of blue for some weird reason. Parrotmon could look better. But most of the sprites, if not all of them really, are amazing. You can of course nitpick them, but they're still really nice sprites, and they're also brand new sprites. That's something that I feel like shows that they are putting the effort in. Because we're getting not only new Digimon, but we're also getting new sprites for existing Digimon, and they look adorable. I love how big the heads look on the rookies. I love how they're able to capture the intricate designs of some of the Mega level Digimon, like All-Force Vidramon, of course, War Greymon and Metal Garurumon. They all look great, and I'm really glad that we're getting, newer sprites for all of them, even these older fan favorite characters. And again, they look great. I'm currently running a Black War Greymon, and he just looks amazing. And the amount of character that is still in the sprites when they sleep, when they attack, they have different walking animations. Once you get the champion, they'll start having working out animations. Metal Greymon specifically, I noticed had quite a few more animations than I noticed on the Vmon dim. Metal Greymon had a flying sprite, a walking sprite, a workout sprite where he was like punching this like brick wall or something, along with all of those other sprites. It's a lot of different animations to put on this device. It's really, really nice. It's definitely one of my favorite things about the Vital Brace. Adventure mode. I really like adventure mode. I like vpets within adventure mode. It adds a bit more flair to devices. It makes them feel a bit more like digivices. And the digivices were my first introduction to the Digimon toys. I never had a vpet growing up. I had the D3. That was my first digivice. First Digimon toy, period. So it resonates a lot with me. Walking with it or just shaking it and getting a battle, trying to beat it, and you kind of keep moving on through this map. It feels really fun. I love it. It's a kind of fun thing to do, either idly, shaking your hand on purpose. It's just something to do. It's a really fun little mini game that you can play in your real life, and I really like that. And the fact that the Vital Brace has an adventure mode in it, I was so happy that they added it. It just helps, again, with the feeling that you are connected to this thing. Because when you're walking, it's walking with you. It's on your wrist, so, you know, when it's down here, as you guys may or may not know, I am hearing impaired. When something's down here, I can't even hear it. Even when it's here, a lot of the vpets are out of my range of hearing, so I can't ever hear them. This I can hear, and it's closer to me, so it's easier for me to hear. So it really helps me feel more connected to it, and, you know, I feel like I'm going on my own little adventure, and I'm bringing my friend along with me, and I really do enjoy that. Bringing back the adventure mode was something that I really, really appreciated. The adventure mode does change depending on what dim you have inserted. You fight Digimon from said dim, and they get progressively harder. The steps that are required get increased, again, very similar to a digivice if you ever owned any of those. And it feels very much like that, so it helps this device feel like a nice mixture between Digivice and vpet, which are always my favorite vpets. The Digimon X does that, the Digimon Pendulum X does that. Digimon devices that do that, that kind of marry the two together in this unique way, are always my favorite, and that's why the Vital Brace is one of my favorite devices. It really is. I quite enjoy this device. I really think that it is worth the asking price. Because when you really consider it, the Vital Brace, comparing this to Japanese prices, of course, the Vital Brace costs around the same to buy new as the Digimon 20th, the Digimon Pendulum, and all of the more recent Digimon devices. That is pretty nuts, considering you're getting NFC, you're getting a rechargeable battery, a backlit screen, new color sprites, the ability and option to expand the roster. And even if you don't do that, there's quite a lot there for you to play around with for it to be its own standalone device. An adventure mode, a really nice watch design, a heart rate sensor if it works for you, and a step counter. That's a lot that this device has to offer that I think is really fun, and I do think it's worth it overall. Of course, next week we're going to be talking about cons, and it's just me being very, not only realistic, but just more constructive about the device, just constructive criticism. Still, I do really recommend this device if you're thinking of buying it. Obviously, pay MSRP. The version special was only a special edition on Premium Bandai, but the white and the black are full retail releases. I know they're hard to find right now. There will be restocks in the future, but just know that it doesn't have to be, you don't have to pay a lot of money for these. They should cost you somewhere around 60 to 70 bucks max. So just keep that in mind. Have fun. Again, if you're thinking of ordering the Vital Brace, personally, I really do recommend it. It has its flaws, but I think its pros outweigh its cons. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. Huge shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for supporting me in these times. I really do appreciate it. And huge shout out to my member. If you'd like to join my membership for the channel, there should be a join button right next to the subscribe button. If you join that, you get a special badge next to your name that changes each month that you are subscribed, or subscribed via the membership. And you also get exclusive emotes for when I stream, which is now every Thursday. I'm also trying to get videos done a day early so that you can watch them as soon as they're finished instead of waiting till Tuesday for me to upload. New merch is coming very soon. I do have the Digi Daily merch in the description down below. It should be in my merch shelf. It's a sticker, a sweater, and a shirt. This is the logo right here. It's one of the stickers. I gave one to Jess. Isn't that so cute? I know the show's not called Digi Daily anymore, but if you want to rep the show, the old show, and help me out, merch in the description down below. I will be making the Xanadu logo that you see in the corner. That will be merch very, very soon. If not, it should be down there right now. So keep an eye out on my merch store, because some new stuff coming. So yeah, that's really it. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Let me know in the comments down below something you think I missed. What is a pro about this device that you absolutely love and adore? And if I did mention it, just let me know what it is anyway. I will see you all next week. Thank you so much. We'll again be talking about the cons of the Digimon Vital Brace. Peace.